Welcome back to our class. Today we're going to learn about locating a proper fraction on a number. Some we don't learn. Okay, so this we have a proper fraction. Proper fractions means that the numerator is smaller than the denominator, like here. 29 is smaller than 100, right?
Then what does this fraction mean?
This fraction means that this is the 29th multiple of 100. Okay, so how can I put it onto the number line, right? Easy. We first need to say what is 100 equal to. Easy. Right. 100 equals to 2 times 50, 4 times 25, 5 times 20, or 20 times 5. But it cannot equal to 3. So with that little information, let's see if we can divide it into 50 parts, which is a half, right? So I'll draw a number line for you. Okay, we divide in half.
So which one is the unit 1?
Unit 1, this is the unit 1.
Okay.
What unit is it?
Okay,
I can say it's 1 or 100.
Yeah, it is 1 and it's divided into
100 parts.
Yes.
But we make it into 50 parts. Because a half is 50.
So this is the midpoint.
Yeah, this is the midpoint.
Yes.
And then this is also too much, right? We can divide into 4 parts, which is 25 in segments. So 25 is how 50. So which is in here. 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So you divide 100 into 4 equal parts.
And each part there are 25.
Okay.
So it's much better, right? Instead of the
Dividing into 100 parts.
Yeah.
So this point is?
So this point is 25.
25 multiples of?
Yeah, 25 multiples of 1 out of 25. Or 1 out of 100 if you want to say.
No, this is 25 multiples of?
25 multiples of 1 out of 100.
No, this is 25 multiples of 100.
Yeah, 100. Or 1 out of 100, I want to say.
Yes.
Okay, so now we know out of these, which is in here, we can find what is 29 out of 100. Now we know that 20 is very near to 100, right? 29 out of 100. And 25 is much nearer to 100. So we can locate it. So it's near to 25, and we know 25 is here because it's half of 50. So it might be 29 might be in here. Yeah, it might be in here.
Wait. So this point is 50.
Yeah, this is the midpoint.
This point is 25.
Yeah.
So 29 should be?
So 29 should be near to 25.
Near 25.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, I just crossed that off.
So I think 29 maybe should be here.
Yeah, because that's in between them, it is 400 in between them.
Oh, yes.
So it's much nearer to 25 than to 50. Because we need 30 more segments to go to 50. So we can say it's here or here, but not in the middle point.
Very good. Okay, so can you locate another fraction?
Yes, I can. So if you want me to locate something, and
yeah, what about this?
Okay, much.
What about this fraction?
This is another improper. This is an improper fraction.
What is improper fraction?
Improper fractions means that the numerator is bigger than the denominator.
Very good. So what should we do?
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I can make this is a rhyme. So first all we need to do is to divide. But
we apply
the division with minus.
Very good.
So we have 250 divided by 100. Oh,
101. The quotient is
the quotient. No, I remember the quotient. I remember that already. The quotient equals to 2
and the reminder
plus reminder 53. So we know it got to do something with 2.
So you can rewrite this equation into. You can rewrite this fraction into.
I can rewrite this fraction into like this: 2 times 50.
2 times
I mean,
101.
Yeah, 2 times 101.
Plus the reminder.
Parentheses. Plus the reminder. Or 1 or 53. And then we have a 0, 1.
Okay, so it's easier to locate this point.
Yeah, and don't forget this is 1, not dot.
Okay,
This is
so the unit segment is.
So the unit segment is between 2 and 3.
Okay,
But
1.
but it's not. But it's nearer to 3 than to 2, because.
Oh yeah, so the unit 1 is here. This is the unit 1, right?
Yeah, the unit 1.
Okay, and this fraction is between.
And this fraction is between 2. It's between 2 or.
And 3.
Yeah, it could be 2 times 101 or 3 times 101.
Copies of
1 0.
division.
Yeah, or 101.
Yes.
So we know 53, which is the reminder, is actually bigger than 50, which because the middle point is 50 point.
Yes, it's near 50.
Yeah, but it's much bigger than 50. So we know it's much closer to 3 than to 2. So I predict that it might be here because the middle point is here.
So it's to the right of the middle point. Okay, so it should be here.
Yeah, and don't forget that between them is 3 out of 101.
Yeah,
What is
it's
between
almost.
Yeah,
3,
almost.
101.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, and then for fractions, there are issues to consider. The first is we need to have a clear definition of fraction.
I'm young because I'm tired.
Can
Okay.
you give us a clear definition of fraction?
So we can. So for example, if I want to locate 5 out of 6, or 6 out of 5. 6 out of 5. This means that in each segment is divided into 5 parts of equal weight or size. And then 6 out of 5 is here, because this means we have 6 copies of 1/5.
Yes, and the fraction is
And fractions are the points on the number.
Why it is not good to use pizza to represent this fraction?
Well, I told you anyway. I need to give you a pizza to eat. This is the pizza. Okay, so we can use pizza to represent a proper fraction, because a proper fraction don't need to draw 2 zeros or circles. But it's not easy to use for improper fractions, because we have to make sure that they are equal, or else someone might think, for example, this is bigger than that one. Or else someone will think this is the one and this is the half.
So we don't know which one is the unit 1.
Yeah, or, for example, I want to use these 2 zeros to represent 3 half. Now the writer, what does it mean? Is trying to represent that this 0 is 1 whole, or the unit 1, and this is 1 half. Altogether, it's 3 halves, right?
Yeah, but what's the problem?
The problem is that the circles are not the same size.
Yes.
And look, this circle is bigger than this circle, so this means this half is bigger than 1 half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, and also another problem. We don't know which is the whole.
Yes. So maybe we think this is the unit 1. If we think this is the unit 1.
And this is a half.
So yeah, so if I think this big pizza is unit 1, so this should be
A half. Or 1 half.
This one should be
This one should be 1 out of 2. Or 1 half.
yeah. I mean, if I consider this bigger one as the unit 1, so this one should be
1 unit segment. I mean,
if this pizza
I get it.
represents 1, but I think this bigger one is considered as the unit, so this one should be
the unit segment.
should be smaller than 1, right?
Yeah, should be
Because
smaller.
I consider this as the
Unit 1.
yes. Why this one should be smaller than 1?
Because this is smaller than this.
Than the unit 1.
Yeah. So this means that this is small.
Okay, good. Another issue is that some students feel uneasy about the notation.
Yeah.
Of
Well,
fraction. Can you give us the notation of fraction using symbols?
Yeah, for example, A, L. Don't forget this is not L, this is T.
Yeah, and there are 3 parts.
There are 2 whole numbers with a bar. Now, some students might think that this is divided into 3 parts. This represents 1 object, so why should it have 3 parts? Right. So many sloppy writers will often write it as A, L.
Like this, if we do not have a bar.
Yeah.
So why do we have a bar here?
We have a bar here so that we can know which is the numerator, or on top, and which is the denominator, which is down. Without the bar, sloppy writers are often write it as AL or LA.
Oh, so it's to make clear.
Yeah. So it's much better to put the bar inside to make it less mysterious. Well, someone will think that they'll draw a monster. Language.
Okay. The third issue is that people feel nervous about dividing the unit 1 into equal parts.
What?
The third issue is about people don't know how to divide the unit 1 into equal parts.
Yeah, I know that. Something may cheat, but you will still right. Now, some people, again, this is my number. For example, the 7 in here is how many groups in each segment. But we can also cheat. We can cheat it like this. We first draw the segments up to 7, and we'll see that this is the unit 1.
Okay, so don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We know that if we know the definition of fractions is fine. Because the definition of fractions says that fractions, I have to read one more time. Fractions are the points on the number line.
Okay. The last issue is about how we compare fractions, or how we know the 2 fractions are equal.
Yeah. So how we can know that fractions are not equal? For example, this is 6 out of 5. I mean 7 out of 5. I mean, just 7 out of 5, not 7 out of 5. Alright, sorry. Maybe this is A out of B. A out of B.
Yeah. What does it mean if we say 2 fractions are equal?
2 fractions are equal means that they are start on the same point, and they end on the same number line or the same point.
So they they are the same points on the number line.
For example, this is 0, this is 0, all the way to here. This is C, B. And see, their ending points are the same. So this means that they are equal. They just not clear.
Well, what does it mean if I say one fraction is smaller or bigger than the other?
Well, then this means, for example, this is a C. And then this is a fraction, and this is U C. And this is AC. This is UC. This is AC. Okay, so how can we know which is bigger? Well, the left fraction is always the smallest. Because
So you mean they are points on the number line?
Because that this line is much smaller than this line. So that's why we can know that which is smaller and which is bigger. And I have to repeat. Don't forget, fractions are the points on the number line, like numbers.
So there are no difference.
Yeah.
Between the points.
Yeah. And there also, don't forget, there are no big difference between bigger fractions and small fractions.
They are just points.
Yeah, on the number line.
Yeah, so the bigger fractions are the points to
the farthest.
Oh, yeah.
And the smallest are the points to the nearest of the number.
Or to the left.
Yeah, or to the smallest point. For example, here.
Okay,